Welcome to this tutorial on how to create this tiger sleeve design with face paint. It is very useful if you have a small child that is a bit scared or too wiggly to get its face painted, and it is especially popular with little boys. For this design you will need face paint in the colors orange, yellow, black and white. I will be using my Diamond FX Essential palette. 2 sponges, at least 1 brush for lines and dots, as well as a jar of water or a water spritzer, a towel and glitter if you like. Start by loading 1/2 of a sponge with yellow and the other half with orange. You may have a different brand that blends more easily, so feel free to use what you think works best. I try to work with what I already have, so Diamond FX it is today, but I'm planning to look into some other brands in the future as well. Place the yellow side of the sponge in the middle of the arm and dab it on for a nice and even coverage. Then press down the other side of the sponge to apply orange in the same way. Turn the sponge and apply orange on the other side of the yellow area as well. You may have to reload your sponge again in between. Blend it all out until you're happy with the result. Load your second sponge with white and apply it to the knuckles. Blend it nicely with the other colors, using the first sponge again if needed. By the way, did you know that in the Eastern world it is the tiger that is the king of the animal kingdom, not the lion? Apparently, tigers are the biggest feline predators. They're also faster, stronger and more intelligent than an average lion. Next, take your favorite round brush, load it with white and paint the claws coming out from the knuckles. You can just paint simple triangles, but if you want a better look, paint big fat teardrops and let them face each other. The tips of the 4 claws should bend in the direction of the thumb and vice versa. Now comes the fun part, the tiger stripes. Choose your best brush for tiger strokes, load it with black and cover the arm with your amazing tiger stripes. If you don't have much time, you can leave it at this point. It is recognizable as a tiger paw and looks neat. Your job is done. If you have more time though, it makes sense to add an outline. I took a small round brush loaded with black and outlined the claws. If you vary the thickness of these lines, it looks a bit more interesting. Connect the claws all together. You could also outline the entire arm, but I decided to leave it at this point because, well, you can always do more. But what I really love adding are some white dots on these tiger strokes. They make it look fascinating and it is not really difficult to do with good paints and a proper brush. If my tutorial was helpful to you, I would be happy if you give me a like and a friendly comment. Also, if you want more tutorials, consider subscribing and tell a friend or colleague about my channel as well. Now unleash your baby tiger so he can play with his friends.